Today joining us in our roto is good old Roger.
Welcome to the session, fellas. How are you?
And we have Apollo God, the motherfucking sun. Apollo!
Hello, Internet. It's good to be here. Hey, guys. And if you can hear the sound of my voice, you clicked on the wrong podcast.
Good God, what the fuck's wrong?
And today we have a mostly movie news episode just like last week. And today we're going to start with some huge Rogue One news.
Not even I know this. Homer's been keeping this little hush-hush around me. I'm a little bit worried.
Hot mama.
You shouldn't be, because I think this makes Rogue One that much better. It is confirmed that Darth Vader is going to be a main villain in the movie.
Hot mama.
Good. Alright.
That's one.
He's the Marshal.
Two, it's confirmed that he's going to be wearing multiple outfits in the movie, which is the first time we've seen on film.
Multiple outfits.
He has a fashion sense or something?
Alternative Vader.
Yeah, which is going to be really tight. And
Okay.
three, the actor has multiple outfits. One, especially for swift combat, which means Darth
What?
Vader is going to have some action scenes in Rogue One.
Oh my God! But then does he just like the one that we've always seen him in 4, 5, and 6? Just
I predict it's just going to be like slightly different. Like,
probably somehow more advanced or something like it, or it
Question: is James Earl Jones going to be returned for his voice?
you best believe it.
Praise Allah.
And I'm 90% sure Hayden Christensen, even though it's not going to matter at all, is going to be in the outfit.
I want that because I don't
Nice.
want him to feel like Star Wars scarred him or anything.
I don't want him to feel left
No,
out.
I feel like everyone's lynched him and shit like that for his acting, but he has nothing to work with that writing material.
Yeah,
How
the
would you
sand.
think of? I mean, the sand. How do you make the sand sentence that much better? Honestly, so I mean, no one could have done that. Not even like
That's a good
Tom
point.
Hanks. As much as I like Tom Hanks, he couldn't even class
The
that.
Could have written
Sand.
a lot of that love stuff a little bit better.
It's
I
George
should've written that. Should've
Lucas.
hired me.
Just George Lucas.
And another thing, while we're on the topic of Hayden Christensen, he might be making an appearance in Episode 8 as a Force Ghost, maybe talking to Kylo
You know
Ren or
what?
I can
something.
see it.
What if
That'd
he
be cool.
changes to old to young like a lot, like he morphs around, like kind of like in the Force where you can be anything, you can be old and younger, like that could explain if you bring Ewan McGregor coming back, because why should Vader turn into Anakin? Like I guess you can say Anakin died, quote unquote,
Yeah.
when he turned to Vader.
That's
that
what
could
Ben
be
Kenobi said.
that could be a
From a
metaphor.
certain point of
It
view.
is what Ben Kenobi
Dude,
said.
and that's exactly
but-
what Kylo Ren said. He said, "Your son is dead" to Han Solo.
True,
As in-
okay.
as in the Sith side literally
You know
killed
what?
him.
Yeah.
That could be a good reason then. Okay, then that would make sense.
Well,
Facebook
confirmed.
I just feel bad for the people who are hoping that you get to see like the old actor that was the Force Ghost come back. The one
Is he even still
I
alive?
remember. No, I think he's dead. I remember
Dead.
him distinctly from the VHS.
Me
'cause That's
too.
all I lived on for a while was the VHS Star
But
Wars.
I think it'd be neat to see Hayden Christensen come back.
Oh no, I'm definitely down with that. I definitely it'll
Down like
show
a clown,
show
Charlie
sign of
Brown.
good faith. I feel
Me too.
like.
But about this Darth Vader news, like a lot of people online are complaining, oh, they're resorting to Vader. But I say this is the best time while James Earl Jones
He
is
needs
still
to be
alive.
shown-
Shut the
yeah,
fuck up,
especially
Internet.
with the effects that we have nowadays, they can easily do Vader more justice. Like the Vader I like to see was in the Force Unleashed games.
Yeah, the
because
Force Unleashed,
yeah.
the book Lords of the Sith apparently gets
'Cause-
more into his like badassness.
I was gonna say, like, you see the badassness in like the comics and the books and whatnot, but the movies were so limited at the time. It made sense as to what we saw, but in the Force Unleashed and stuff like that, you get to see like why he's an adversary. He is a straight up tank.
Exactly.
One of Darth Vader's most popular actions amongst his fans, and one of his earliest, was killing off all those younglings. Am I right?
Oh yeah, right. Those poor those 6-year-olds who are shitting themselves.
I wonder if they'll get
while
more
they're-
into the youngling killing.
Oh my god!
I really hope they get into a much
I'm just kidding.
heavier
They
description.
did. I mean, they could. They could in a way because a lot of Jedi apparently more than we think survive the
Purge.
the purge and whatnot. I mean, if Caden could, and he was like an apprentice at the time, like barely a Padawan when his master was killed, then I think like I don't know, some other people could.
Do all of these supposed like master Sith lords with all of their power and instinct somehow like miss out like 5 or 6 separate good Jedis, you know? When they say, like, there's only one or there's only two left. Like, there's always, like, 5 or 6 actually left in the canon
I was going to say,
so
and it's the same way for the Sith, too. There's always 2 and whatnot. It's like
there's, like, 8, so...
Well, I mean, it is hard to find a group of 2 people or a handful of people where you have a planet like Coruscant, which has a population of 1 trillion. That's not even joking.
And that's just one planet.
And that's just one planet.
Didn't you Coruscant blow the fuck up or something?
What? I don't know. When we saw The Force Awakens, they said they were going to destroy the Republic, and the Republic was on Coruscant, so...
it was Coruscant?
It could be.
It might have been. They said what system it was in the movie, but not what planet.
It kind of looked like it.
I couldn't tell. It looked a decent amount like it. It seemed like it was a very urban area.
Something to look up in the future. But yeah, like for Rogue One, this is like one of the perfect times to bring in Darth Vader because it's like he's already in that era. It's not like cheesy, just forcing him into the story.
I was gonna say, what do you want? Bringing the Inquisitors in there? I mean, that could be fine, I guess, but I'd rather stick that to the Rebels or something like that.
And I wonder who Darth Vader's fighting. What if, like, Kanan or someone shows up in this movie?
Yeah, you see Phoenix Squadron or whatever. I think whatever they're now called in Star Wars Rebels. So that would be really cool to see a little cameo.
I want to see Darth Vader.
If they're not in there, that makes you wonder, are they dead already? Because this takes place... Rebels takes place like a few years. Like I'm talking about like 2 years maybe before Episode 4. So it's pretty close.
And Rogue One takes place,
a
couple months before?
Yeah, or something, or maybe weeks for all we know.
Very close timeline here. I'm really excited to see what they do with Vader. Probably one of our last chance to see him on the big screen.
Especially for people that are dying to wait to see more of the newer stuff for Episode 8. I think it's a good way to pay homage to also the older stuff at the same time. So
exactly. I'm far more excited for this spin-off movie than, like, say, the Han Solo one. Which,
I just still hope they just go with practical effects and everything, no matter who director changes. I need to have that.
Good mix of both. That's what I want.
I was going to say, Abrams did pretty much just fine. I felt like they could have done Maz Kanata without CGI, personally. I felt like they could have done it.
She was fine, though.
She was fine. It just looked... she is stand out compared to everyone else.
Do you guys hear about the deleted scene where it kind of... Isn't Maz whatever, that's the chick who has force powers? Like the kind of bug-looking chick.
Who we think has force powers.
Actually, there's a deleted scene, apparently, out there that confirms it entirely. Like, apparently once they start attacking, she does some type of flip or uses the force in some way. And
like a force acrobat?
Yeah, something. I can't exactly remember how it was described.
Well, yeah, there's it's heavily assumed anyway.
Even though she declined, it doesn't mean shit.
Oh, I know where I got this lightsaber from.
Oh, what?
She could just not be a Jedi anymore. She could have exiled herself. That doesn't mean that, like, she doesn't know force.
Or what if she was part of the Grey Jedi, maybe? We get into that in the Rebels.
That could be true. Yeah, that could be true.
Because she said she's not a Jedi per se.
She can be anything for right now. We can speculate all day.
Oh,
but we've been going out a little bit.
We're gonna have a lot of Star Wars breakdown videos coming in the future, especially when Force Awakens hits Blu-ray. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. So stay tuned for that, especially when we get more behind the scenes bullshit going on.
Exactly.
Next bit of news that happened in the cinematic universe is the Ghost in the Shell movie. If you guys were waiting for it, it was originally made by Disney. Now it changed property now to Paramount apparently, and because of that, in the process, it's been delayed.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out like spring 2017. Now it's not a big delay. It's only like late summer 2017, like a couple months.
Okay. So I wonder how much of the story they're trying to keep in place and how much they're really going to change about it. Because it worries me if Disney just sold it away. Maybe they didn't have too much faith into it.
I was always wondering why Disney was behind this to begin with. It's like an anime, like mature theme.
You know what?
Anime.
I would like that because I mean Disney
are just sick.
Disney's an animation company, so maybe they try to adopt a different form of, anime stories and whatnot and put it in their format. It could be a cultural exchange sort of project, too.
I know Scarlett Johansson's attached to play the lead, which I'm really excited for.
Oh yeah. Really? I didn't know. Man, she's dipping her fingers in everything nowadays.
Yes,
it seems
she
like.
is.
And we're fine with that.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm still excited for it. I'm just wondering exactly why it changed hands. People are speculated maybe it was a trade. Paramount traded Disney for something else. There's no details released on it.
It kind
Very
of
curious.
I just am never
Traded them Rugrats.
Paramount. I never really like a lot of Paramount movies, to be honest, and that really worries me.
I can't think of any on the top of my head. I'm sure there's a couple.
I think
good ones.
AVP was one, and I remember I hated that.
I think Looper was one. That's the latest one I could think of.
Okay, then that was fine. But most of the time, I usually come out pretty dissatisfied with most Paramount movies. And if Disney can't perfect this sort of story, then it worries me even more.
Exact. So definitely worried about, but I'm very fascinated because if this movie's good, you can get a lot of good anime movies off the ground. Like I know they're trying to get Attack on Titan off the ground.
Attack on Titan is like probably the newest like hit form of anime that's out right now. If you watch the Fine Bros, they have like a few react videos, and like for the teens and whatnot, they said like, yeah, that's really huge around school and whatnot. So you kind of get a little perspective for for those who are not in high school, I guess, right now, people like us.
And I know you fellas would probably be jumping up and down for a Death Note movie.
Oh no, Death Note, yeah, should be. You know what? Not even a movie. I say miniseries. It'd be a great miniseries. It'd be a fantastic. You can't make it into one movie.
Even better miniseries. Hell yeah.
Or a trilogy of movies.
A live action trilogy.
That would be pretty nice. I'd be down for that.
Cancer Sick.
Hell yeah, and I think that's the big news because it's bringing like Americans into the anime culture with Scarlett Johansson. That's going to be a big draw for people that normally don't watch anime.
Especially now, she's also doing the voice for the snake in Jungle Book. So why
that comes out in a couple months, actually.
And she's probably just gonna talk normally the same. She's gonna piss people like me off who like to change voice act a little bit.
I've never wanted to have sex with an animal so much in my life.
Oh, she just talks normally. I just don't understand why. With her voice that attracts everyone.
It attracts me.
It's just I find that just to be a little bit random.
Me too.
Another thing that's random too is the Deadpool PSA that was recently announced. The 2-part PSA, where one talks about testicular cancer and the other one was breast cancer, and it kind of correlates to Deadpool's
thing because apparently he got his powers because of cancer, and then the whole PSA is about checking yourself for cancer.
Oh yeah,
touching yourself.
Apparently.
Touching your nards and whatnot, your tomatoes.
Nards or the lady tits up.
Check it every time you step out of the shower. Get a nice firm grip.
I think it was hilarious.
And for women, they must stroke in a singular motion, like in ovals or something. I learned a few things from it. So
the funny thing is, I think this PSA is going to inform more people than a real PSA would.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the ironic part. Learn from your anti-heroes, superheroes, or whatever.
I just think it's hilarious how this is the last piece of marketing they put out before the movie comes out, like in a week.
They probably just want to make it seem like it's a little bit more mature, I guess, like maybe like in a way for those.
We're getting close to Valentine's Day. People are already going to be feeling up on those parts anyway. To be healthy.
Exactly. Inform them while you're having the intercourse, the coitus.
And I'll try not to think Deadpool while I test on myself.
Yeah, exactly. Try not to.
It's
just sheer curiosity now. You gotta watch out for that testicular cancer. It happens between when you're 15 and 34.
Deadpool, stop popping up in my sexual fantasies.
God damn it, Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds!
As if Ryan Reynolds would pop up enough.
Yourself for Ryan Reynolds as it is, and that's no joke.
Oh yeah, man. But I'm just that much more pumped for Deadpool. I think it's gonna be the funniest superhero movie to date. And
I was gonna say, it doesn't really have much competition for that with Ant-Man. Ant-Man was good. It was definitely but it wasn't like trying to be a strictly comedy movie. It was like half and half between action.
Dying.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it was really funny, but it wasn't like.
And they were restrained because they were PG. This is gonna be rated R straight up.
And Deadpool's meant to be pretty much more comedic with his ridiculous antics.
Exactly,
and
always breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Obsession with chimichangas. He's
he's
my spirit animal.
Now every time I think of chimichangas, I think of like Ash vs. the Evil Dead, where he's like at the end of like that the library episode, he's just like, "All right, guys, who's ready for some chimichangas?" And I'm not saying at you, Pablo, just because you're Mexican. Those are just a great food in general. Let's
when
go.
When I hear chimichangas, I think of Meet the Parents, the voicemail message.
Oh,
They make
yeah.
a chimichanga.
Oh god, yeah.
Mom and Dad, I told you you have to change that message.
And they never even get the messages.
Yeah, they never
Chimichanga.
check and they never change it. It stays there the whole
I just love the mom's voice for it. Oh my god.
Yes. Moving on, we have some reboot news.
Another reboot. Good god. We should have like a warning on this podcast if we ever have to talk
Beep,
about like
beep,
yeah,
reboots.
exactly.
Reboot warning.
Writer's block. Hollywood
actually-
writer's block.
This is gonna be. It's gonna be one of those weird kind of Terminator Genesis things, like reboot yet not reboot.
What the
But
hell?
it's for a franchise I think is actually worthy of reboot in this day and age, which is gonna be Labyrinth.
Now describe to somebody who's never seen that film ever
It's,
what exactly
it's
the hell
literally
that is.
Alice in Wonderland with
On
David
acid.
Bowie. With
Yeah.
David Bowie.
David Bowie, acid trip,
God rest his soul.
and
They would reboot it the moment he dies.
I know, right? That's what I thought
Cash
too.
in.
yeah,
Cash
one
in.
they're trying to cash in on that. But I think the original movie is like a guilty pleasure for me. I realize it's like a terrible movie, so I think it could benefit from a reboot. Maybe take it a little bit more serious.
I was gonna say I never grew up with it with certain people, but my God, I saw it from a coworker, and if you see it baked as fuck, it's just the same effect, and it grows like has an effect on you. Like Alice in Wonderland, it's awesome because it's like a Disney movie that was made by Disney, and it's a complete acid trip, and people just
this
allow
one's like
it.
a bad acid trip.
And then this one, the Labyrinth, is literally
Jesus
the same
Christ.
thing, but it's just made by different people.
Jim Henson, dude.
And, yeah, oh God.
A bad acid trip with
In
David
a
Bowie.
maze, in a giant maze. Alice in
Jesus,
Wonderland
take me out to
in a
pasture.
maze.
Exactly, and it's a fascinating storyline. Like it's about a giant, unsolvable maze. You have to get to the center, find the Goblin King, save your baby,
and rescue
What
your
the
baby
hell?
brother.
and now we're going to enter some spoiler zone. If you have not seen the original Labyrinth,
Yeah.
if I think you do see the original Labyrinth, you need
God
to be
rest
baked
your
as hell.
soul. I know, right? You forget it like me, and I had to watch it like 3 times
basically-
to remember most of it.
Like there's symbolisms very strongly that hint that the woman is actually schizophrenic this entire
God,
time.
if you watch it like this point of view, it's the best fucking
Like
thing.
at the end, the ending screams that it was just a schizophrenic thing.
I know, like
Like her dolls coming back to life as the Labyrinth people and stuff.
God, and none of the parents understand that their kids were gone or anything like that. It was like as if it all just happened like real fast in this woman's
It's
mind.
just a dream.
Oh
But
God.
exactly, I think if they don't go as corny with it, make it a bit more scary, and have some cool creatures.
So they got CGI David Bowie this
Nope,
time?
they're gonna
or-
all use CGI. They need to have practical effects.
I don't know. It's Jim Henson Company still. Who made the Muppets, or Crystal, all that.
Okay,
They're
fine.
known for their puppetry.
Okay,
so
fine. So I have a
they
little
might
bit more
stick with
faith
it.
into it. I agree.
we'll keep you guys updated as that comes. It's supposed to be dropping sometime 2017, and I'm very interested to see who the new Goblin King is going to be, because there's
Oh
going to be
yeah, who can top David Bowie?
hell yeah. So I'm excited to see. What if they get like a Justin Bieber or something weird?
Oh God,
the-
some sort of like. Maybe
No, thank
Brett
you.
Michaels. He's the only one.
I don't want to see him as the Goblin King. I mean,
He kind of looks like Iron Man.
Brett Michaels, rock a love.
Poison. He doesn't represent the Democrat.
I think maybe they
What
should
if it's
avoid a singer
Goblin
this time.
Queen? What if it's different?
Scarlett Johansson confirmed.
Oh God.
Okay,
Katy
now I'm down.
Perry, Goblin Queen, confirmed.
Still down.
I'll be down actually.
And they have to keep the schizophrenic themes throughout.
Oh no, yeah. It must be definitely apparent, regardless. But that goes through most of our cinema news. Now we enter the trailers of the week.
Trailers of the week.
Starting off, we have the Kevin Spacey and who else was it? Crap.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher
Jesus
Walken.
H.
That was I was
Christ.
thinking of Steve Buscemi. Kevin Spacey, Christopher Walken in 9 Lives, where Kevin Spacey, he was a man who had it all until he didn't anymore, and he became a cat.
Kevin Spacey wakes up, and because he didn't spend enough time with his family, he is now a cat.
No, and we're not even bullshitting. It's all that's all we know as to how or why he's a cat is because you have fucking. I keep thinking of Steve Buscemi. God damn it.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. God damn. Why do I want him to be in
I know
it?
that one.
I have a thing for Steve Buscemi.
He must
I
have
just
been in
wish
this
he
movie.
was in the movie.
I know.
okay?
He needs to be in it. Okay. Christopher
Should have
Walken.
been in the movie.
He literally just he pulls a click where he plays like a Morty.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he basically like just makes Kevin Spacey into a fucking cat for not paying attention to his kids, and now the kids
He must learn his lesson.
the kids pretty much abuse the cat with their
They
own
basically
desires.
play all the same, it's an aware pet, jokes where it's just,
Which
they're
is-
washing me and I don't enjoy it. Please drown me.
Oh gosh!
and then, yeah, what was the other one?
Promote suicide.
It was just very
You have 8
predictable,
more lives.
I am not happy about this film.
No,
I
I
might
mean,
see it like on acid or something.
People are gonna like
Keep it
kill
fresh,
their
but-
cats accidentally because they think that they're gonna have like 8 or 7 more lives left or something like that. It's gonna promote bad nature.
I'm just wondering why this movie's being made. Why
Kevin Spacey?
Yeah, why he agreed.
Why is Kevin Spacey stooping?
He has
so
been
low?
on a roll. Why degrade himself to this cash
Yes.
cow?
Maybe he's just looking for an easy movie. He didn't feel like moving around much.
Probably.
He just wanted the voice acting part.
Yeah, what if
Like
like
one scene at the end.
Nah,
where he
dude.
turns
Kind of
back
like
into a
Bill
human.
Murray and Garfield.
Yeah,
he's just gonna come out. I read the script. I had to do it.
yeah, exactly. It was brilliant.
I had to do it.
God's work was involved in this. Praise
I
Allah.
read the
Stars
first
align.
2.5 pages. And
They were
I
the
bawled my eyes out. See this movie.
Dude, but Roger, you know what's hilarious? When you were introducing this movie, like the man who had it all and whatnot, it reminded me so much of the Bible
I
Man
was thinking
intro.
the same thing. I was trying to remember the intro because that was exactly what I was thinking of as soon as it
wow.
started. Oh,
Let me
God.
explain this for everyone real quick. For those who don't know, there's a legitimate... If you guys think Stoner Man's a weird idea for a superhero, go back to the 90s. There was a superhero legit called Bible Man.
YouTube it. Thank God for
YouTube?
YouTube. Oh
Exactly.
my God, this
If
would
you-
fade away in
If
obscurity.
you want to laugh your ass off, get a nice blunt going. Go to
Splitsky.
yeah, get a nice spliff. Look up the Bible Man intro video. It is so
It
hilarious.
is like a minute and a half worth of gold.
It's the origin of how he got his powers.
If that can have a production value, we definitely deserve
Yeah,
a
we're
better
already,
shot.
we're already in. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
God.
pretty sure that marijuana is more popular than the Bible these days, if anything. So
And our quality and storytelling will be much better.
And
yeah.
Bible Man, he questions his belief over the dumbest shit in the world.
So, yeah,
isn't
get
it like
baked and
every
check that out.
episode? Like, does God hate me now?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
and then he has to like renew his faith, and his power comes back. I don't know.
It's definitely worth it to the thrill. It's definitely like The Room sort of quality. Like a hidden gem among
Don't
badness.
compare the room to that.
I don't know. It's pretty bad in terms of like the scale of how much I laugh.
Me too. Guys, we're going to maybe review 9 Lives. If there's a movie out and we have nothing else to double feature, we might check it out, give you guys a review. But if not, then check it out for yourself if you want to lose some IQ points.
I say let's see it wasted opening night and scream at the screen and ruin
Hell,
it
it might be a
forever.
hilarious movie to see wasted. Who knows?
So with
We
the
might be screaming in that. So we all saw another trailer. I wasn't really too excited about this one either. About
it's
Trolls.
the movie no one asked for.
Well, once again, yeah, nobody asked for this shit, but it's here. Really didn't, the trailer didn't show anything. They danced around some that Watch Me Whip and Nay Nay song, which that is carcinogenic.
And
I wasn't happy.
But yeah, and it's not like normal everyday trolls. Most of our viewers might not even remember these trolls from the 90s. Those
Yeah.
little tiny naked dolls
yeah,
with the
I was
long
gonna
hair.
say they
Just not even comparable to them. Doesn't
It was
even
like a
look
fad
them.
that happened for like a year, the most probably.
How is this getting?
It's
And
true.
it's a narrow margin they're appealing towards, and we're not going to go off our way to see this. It's like the Smurfs movie. It's like it's not appealing. Oh.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
would-
the opposite of Lego Movie. People played with that for decades and decades, so they could
And they
do
put
shit
time
like
and
that.
care making the movie like really authentic.
Yeah, it was
and
retarded good for a
Exactly.
children's toy film.
and
I
it's
feel like-
anti-government propaganda.
I feel like with this trailer and another trailer that dropped this week, Angry Birds, I feel like those two movies exist just to show us we could get worse than Minions.
I know how low
I wonder if
Hollywood
the
will go.
Like the executives up there, way at the top, are like gambling on how horrible of a film they can make and still rake in
They're
billions.
like, what are these
We have
kids
a
like?
Pez movie
Angry
on the way.
A
Birds.
Pez movie? This isn't even the height of Pez popularity. That's once again that thing.
I almost forgot what a Pez was until now. Until you guys just reminded me. Oh my god.
Out to pasture, fellas.
I know, just do boom.
But yeah, not proud of you on this one, DreamWorks.
God rest our souls.
And I can promise you all, we will not be reviewing this one.
This is as far as we're going to talk about.
I was going to say, when we saw Unfriended to rate that for you guys, I felt like I deserve money for going to see that shit.
I don't know.
Movie.
I have fond memories of that viewing because we made so much fun of it. I still had a fun time.
Oh god, that was but we saw 3 movies, and that was the middle movie, the cream of the crop, and it slowed down the momentum for us. Luckily, we saw. I forget what we saw. That was third, but we knew that we were probably gonna like it. I think it was that Pixar movie.
Inside Out.
Inside Out, yeah.
Probably was, to be honest. What a weird triple feature. And we have one last trailer of the week, and it's also our only piece of video game news this week, actually.
Oh shit, yeah, I almost forgot.
It is for the new Ninja Turtles game called Mutants in Manhattan, and it's coming out in June for the PS4 and Xbox One. One thing that excites me a lot about this game is that it's not connected to the movies at all. It's like its own standalone title, and it's going to be brought to you by Platinum Games, who recently made Transformers Devastation, which has a 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Yeah, apparently, like, they're good at revitalizing video game franchises that were good, like, in the arcade and stuff like that, or back in the old days, especially Ninja Turtles. We haven't seen a good Ninja Turtles game in so long.
Exactly, and, like, recently Transformers had the worst movies ever, and they just released a good Transformers game.
Yeah, those are the only thing that are probably thriving the Transformer industry in terms of quality that's sticking back to its original roots, per se.
Me too, and you know me, I'm a huge Turtle fan. I'll take any good Turtle story I could get.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I like the newer comic books.
Yeah.
It's more mature.
More,
Hopefully they
yeah.
go more... From the tone in the trailer, it looks like they got the Turtles down a lot better than they did in the movies. And I'm really excited because I like the art style behind it.
The cell shade, open world type
Still
thing.
looks better than the movie.
No,
The most recent one.
That's what I'm saying, definitely.
what video game franchise looks very similar as to how that game plays? Did you notice anything in terms of like how the story went?
No.
Batman, in terms of like one night, everyone's not out on the street in New York for some reason. Shredder, the Foot is invading for some
That's
odd
actually
reason.
genius.
And I think they're definitely taking roots from the Batman series, because I found it kind of funny that you were just roaming around the subway station attacking Foot Clan members. That was the only thing that was
And we
driving
saw
me.
like some cool mutant monsters that we haven't seen in the movies
Yeah,
or show before,
and
like that shark.
They show off the boss fights, yeah, too, along. They show off Bebop and Rocksteady.
And their animation looks better than the new movie.
Yeah, I know. The one thing I wonder is, are you playing as one turtle and then
I
like
hope you
you
can
can
switch
upgrade
off.
it, or do you have all turtles with you as like a combo, like, and like you have to use like specific
Yeah,
commands to
it
summon?
looked like that they had those combos going in the trailer. Actually, the gameplay reminded me a lot of a combo between the GameCube Ninja Turtle game and
the one I can never beat because I can never save, and it pissed me off. I have bad
that
memories
sucks.
with that game.
I beat the first 2, and the third one I did not because it wasn't as good. But anyways, it reminds me of a hybrid between those GameCube games and the Sega Genesis Ninja Turtles and the Hyperstone Heist video game.
Oh, that's such a good game.
A combo of my 2 favorite turtle games, which makes me even more excited. And if you guys are Sega Genesis lovers out there, I highly recommend getting that Hyperstone Heist game. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played, just because of the nostalgia.
Probably download it anywhere, especially
Might be on Steam,
on 360, Steam, PlayStation. Probably find it anywhere. Very precious commodity.
Exactly. I have faith in Platinum Games of reviving the Turtles in video game world, at least.
I'm just a little bit. The story looks fine, and that's the one thing that's actually kind of driving me towards it. I just want to know how they. From the trailer that we saw like a few glowy points, like collectibles. I just hope that's not like a lot of the game collecting these like going out of your way or like side missions that involve like running on rooftops and stuff. I hope there's like a lot of stuff you can do since you have this open sandbox, which we're not really used to per
Especially
se.
in Turtles.
And sticking to turtle lore, I just don't want the turtles to be running around the streets in the open.
Is this going to be on the Vita?
It looks like it could.
It could
be.
honestly easily fit on a Vita. I want to know if it's
hoping it
online
does.
co-op.
Then I would consider
I would
it.
like to have online co-op. I would
I
like
don't
to be
see
your
why not.
Donatello to your Michelangelo.
Mikey in the house. The
That'd be a
Stoner
good.
Turtle.
That'd be a good combo.
I'll be Megan Fox.
Megan
was gonna
Fox won't be in this game.
Apollo, you wouldn't even get it, would you? Because you don't even like Teenage Mutant Ninja
If it was
Turtles.
on the Vita, I'd think about it.
Oh, really? Okay. It actually would be a good game to go on the go.
And it might give you your first love at the Turtles, especially if they go with the more mature type Turtles.
As they originally in the comic books, if you recall.
Indeed, which I actually have those comics if you ever want to read them.
I have actually seen a little gander through it.
They're pretty nice, actually, even though there's some big differences, like Baxter Stockman, like April used to work for Baxter Stockman originally and stuff.
The blood, especially the blood.
Yeah, that's
so
different.
much.
I hope to see blood in my turtles.
I want them to taste it, relish in it.
Jesus Christ.
Bring back the heads of their enemies to Splinter. There you go, Splinter. From our
Exactly.
wise master.
Enjoy, master. Feast upon them.
I hope this is a great start to a new Turtles saga, especially if the movies keep going downhill, as we all predict.
Which, as according to S-Man headquarters forecast, it's gonna go downhill.
Course anytime soon.
The infinite plummet will commence.
Christopher Nolan remakes Ninja Turtles. Now that's
My
what I want
God.
Now we're talking. Sign me up.
That would shit.
I'm pretty sure I'd be down for Christopher Nolan remakes anything.
to see. Me too. Christopher Nolan remakes Power Rangers.
Follow him to hell
God.
back, god damn it.
He can get me into anything, dude.
There's actually rumors that his next movie is going to be a World War II movie of sorts, which I'm not a big war movie of sorts, but I'm a huge Nolan
I do
fan.
like the World War movies just because it's the worst that we've ever gotten, and it's good to
I want one
relive it
about
so
World
that
War
we never
III.
do it ever again.
I want Christopher Nolan to do Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my
That'd be fucked
god!
Just cut out the middleman. Christopher Nolan, World War III, Terminator versus Man
Not many
storyline.
people
Holy shit.
say Powerpuff Girls shame, or let alone come out and say,
Dude,
I don't
actually,
miss that
Powerpuff
shit
Girls-
so much. Oh my god!
They're coming back to Cartoon Network.
I hope so. They deserve it.
They are, dude.
Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. They were one
I'm
of
just
the
afraid
best.
that they're going to be getting the Teen Titans Go treatment.
I hope
and-
you still have that cross-dresser crab guy that scared me when I was a kid.
come cross-dress with me.
That has that freaky ass voice and that clown.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
that clown.
I don't remember the clown.
The clown that takes away all the color or whatever of like the episode and
Wasn't
like
there one that like changed all the food to broccoli or something?
No, I don't remember that.
There was something like that.
Excuse me.
And that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. If you have a spare moment or two on your hands, please visit our website at stonerman.net. There you can find information on our show and our Kickstarter. And we have a bunch of new cool stuff coming. We have some new character bios, and we have a bunch of new Rogers gadgets in Rogers Workshop. And we have a brand new stoner story, The Silly Dingo, coming really soon. And if you haven't checked it out already,
The
check
highly
out
praised.
The Praise. It's about
Critically acclaimed.
The hype is real.
It's a story about a dingo trying to get a bowl of cereal, and the comedy ensues.
The journey. It's all about the journey.
Exactly.
I personally, I would like to know if he gets that bowl of cereal, you know?
No
I mean, I'm
spoilers.
already intrigued. I mean, hook, line, and sinker right here.
I'm not asking for any spoilers. I'm just saying I am on the edge of my seat.
Oh, yeah.
Call me a bait and fish right now. Or what? God damn it.
But yeah,
Yeah, we understood it.
that's coming in the next couple weeks, so check back every day. And to whet your appetite, check out...
To whet your appetite.
Check out Meet the Parents versus the Terminator. That's another comedic thrill ride that I'm sure you will all love, written by yours truly.
The story nobody wanted, but fuck you.
Here it is.
Here it is, and it will change you. You'll become a new man.
Maybe not for the better.
Hell yeah. So a lot of new cool stuff on the horizon for the webpage. So please comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, stay lifted, my friends.
Have a good night, Internet, and I will see you next time. Apollo out.
You guys have an awesome and chill out night, and always remember, may the force be with you.
Always.